Welcome to the stream, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by. Wrong screen. Oh man, I'm feeling a little rusty today, but not too bad. Still fighting this cold, but I will survive. I will definitely make it. I popped some Dayquil, I popped some Kratom, so we'll get through the stream. Hopefully I'll get my COVID test results back today and we'll see what those say. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a great start to the week so far. I hope your Monday is off to a ripping start. Having a good time. I've been off work for like 4 days because of this cold, but still not really like bored yet. I'm just kind of, I wish I had more energy to do stuff, because right now I've pooped. I have not had enough energy to actually get anything done in these 4 days that I've had off. Just been laying on the couch, kind of groaning about my life, but that's all right. Before I get into this whole YouTube SEO thing, there was something I was thinking about on Twitter. A lot of people are feeling really burned out this time of year. And as somebody who burned out last year, pretty much around this time, give or take a couple months, this was when I started feeling really burned out, right before I took my year off. There's this advice going around to, if you're feeling burned out, just be yourself. Just make content that only you like. Fuck the numbers. The numbers don't mean anything. And it's just, it's so common, and it seems like such innocuous advice. It's just, it's innocent, right? Like, yeah, of course we want to be ourselves. Of course we want to create content that, you know, vibes with who we are. But as somebody who's on the verge of burnout, a content creator who's struggling with their numbers, struggling to feel like they make an impact, that can actually be the last kick in the ass that you need to quit streaming. At least it was for me. This is my personal experience. Maybe not everybody's gonna feel this way, but for me, when I was in that position, I got that advice. Just make some content that you like. Just be yourself, do what you do, and, you know, the real ones will hang out. The real ones will stick around. They'll be there for you. So I just started going off on tangents. You know, I started talking about anarchism, I started talking about cooking, I started talking about plant-based food, I started just throwing everything in there and getting away from gaming content and social media marketing for streamers, which is what I had been doing and what I do now, obviously. And people stopped coming around. My Twitter died, Instagram stopped, the little bit of growth that I was seeing on Instagram stopped. Just everything stopped. My YouTube videos stopped getting views. People stopped going over there. People didn't show up to my Twitch streams because I was just angry all the time. And it got to me. It really did. And it hurt because I was being myself and I was talking about the things that I wanted to talk about, and I was making the content that I was passionate about at that time. And nobody was interested in it. Nobody was interested in me. And I was just like, all right, well, you know, that was the last push that I needed at that point. I was just like, well, I'm burned out, I'm tired, I don't want to do this anyways. Nobody's even listening to me, so I'm just gonna quit. And at that time, unfortunately, my other stuff that I had been focusing on, my gaming content, my social media content, was taking off. And if I had just had the awareness to double down on what was actually prospering and what was going well, I would have been able to actually start seeing some results and started to kind of pull through that burnout rather than just leaning into the burnout and going just down this path that led me to completely shake my confidence in who I was as a creator and what I wanted to do with my channels and, you know, my social media outlets. I just completely got off track. And that burned me out so much faster than if I had just said, okay, well, there's this one thing that I need to focus on that everybody likes, this subject. Let me just block everything out and I'll do this one thing. And I'll put out a video a week and I'll just chill the fuck out. Allie, how's it going? I'm just talking about some advice that I've seen floating around Twitter that I personally feel like contributes to burnout instead of helping it, which is The whole, if you're feeling burnt out and tired, fuck the viewers, just do what you want to do. I feel like that kills small channels. If you're a big creator, you have a little bit more leeway with that, and you can take those breaks where you're like, all right, I know you're not all going to be into this, but enough people like it so that I can feel good about it and sustain. But as a small creator, if you jump off on a tangent, you're going to have nobody there with you for that ride. J Diddy, welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. I'm so glad you had a chance to make the stream. Yeah, that advice fried me when I started out. I'm just covering some burnout stuff before I get into YouTube SEO, because I burned out last year and I had to take a whole year off, and I feel those same things welling up again, and I'm realizing the tendency that put me into the burnout trap last year. And I think a big burnout trap for me was actually going a little bit too far down that road of be yourself, do whatever the fuck you want. Just make content for you. Whereas if I had doubled down on the things that had been working at the time, I probably would have been able to pull through and seen enough results and enough self-confidence boost from things actually working out to go, okay, I don't suck at this, let's keep pushing through. But instead, I put all of my efforts into content that nobody wanted to see, and it went nowhere. So I think that if we can find a balance for ourselves of this is what the community wants and this is what I'm happy doing, then it's going to be much easier to ride through the burnout instead of just alienating your community, which is what a lot of people end up doing when they get burned out, because they go, well, you guys never really liked me anyways because I'm doing stuff for me and you're not here for me, you're here for the game. Of course they're there for the game. Of course they're there for the social media stuff or whatever you talk about on a regular basis. That's why they followed you. And if you don't have a big enough community built up to where you can go off on those tangents, then you're just gonna alienate people, and they're gonna feel like you're not there for them. You know, they're gonna feel like you don't care about their needs. They're gonna feel like you're selfish. Neptune, thank you for that sub. Welcome to the channel. Ali says, I have this happen, now I'm slowly just learning the balance. Made a big decision and I hope it works. I hope it works out for you too. Yeah, I hope that makes sense for everybody. I'm not saying like burn yourself out playing a game that you hate. If you're stuck in a rut and you feel like, oh my god, I can't handle this anymore, I can't go live playing this stupid game, talk to your community, be honest about it, be like, hey guys, I'm really fried. I would love to just start mixing some other stuff in. See what they want. Because I think that attitude of me first, I'm burning out, so I'm gonna make content that I want, that puts you into that lose your community situation, which just compounds burnout. Whereas if you take on that mindset of I'm making content for a community of people, not necessarily just for myself, because once you get to that point where you have a community around you and you have people who are counting on you to put out content and are interested and excited about what you're doing, you have to take that into account. You can't just throw that out the window and then expect everyone to keep showing up. So I think personally a much better choice than just going, I'm gonna do what I want to do, fuck y'all, is going to your community, doing polls, figuring out what everyone likes doing through intuitive community listening skills, figuring out what they're interested in, find out what pain points they have in their everyday life, things they need help with, things that they're interested in, and start incorporating those into your content better, rather than just going off on tangents that might not interest them at all. And some of these SEO tricks that I'm going to talk about actually help out with that a lot too, because you can figure out how you can figure out what your community would be interested in and give you more content ideas that are a little bit fresher than just going, I'm going to go live and hope people hang out. I'm going to go live and hope people, you know, enjoy what I'm doing, or oh, I hope that they like this game. You can start to listen to what they're into and then go through these keyword searches and go, ooh, content idea, and then have something that's actually gonna land, rather than just going off on a tangent and alienating your entire community. My voice is a little scratchy right now, but I hope it's not too unbearable for you guys. Thank you everyone for stopping by today. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. Hope you're having a good week. I'm gonna do some SEO talk today, talking about how I got to my third video, got to 39, almost 40,000 views, and how all of my other videos kind of took off from there and fed off of that. Emperor, welcome to the stream, buddy. How you doing today? I'm fighting my cold. But yeah, that is the plan for today. Let me get my studio mode up here. Get this tool that I wanted to show y'all up. It's called Google Keyword Planner. Google Planner. Ah, poop, I'm logged in on the wrong one. JDD says what you're saying makes sense. I hope so, because I'm not trying to, like, of course we all want to be ourselves, and I'm not trying to crap on that advice, but I think some people take it too far. They take it to that extreme where they just don't have any focus whatsoever, and they're just making whatever content comes into their head because, well, that's what I want to make. And then their community just stops showing up, and then they go, well, I knew it, I suck at this, nobody likes me anyways, blah blah blah, and then you just quit. And that's what happened to me. I started making stuff that nobody cared about, and then I gave up. I think I experienced something similar where I felt I just needed to make content that the audience would like. And there's nothing, I think that is important. Like, once you get to that point where you have a community, you need to take that into account. You need to take into account what they're interested in, because it's not about you at that point. It's not about your face out there. And I think that's what a lot of people get in, that trap that people fall into, is my channel, my stream, my Twitter. And you forget all of the other people that are around you who are invested in what you're doing and supporting you, and you know, they don't, if you don't give them something to go on, then, you know, you can't expect them to stick around. Emperor says, if at first I don't succeed, it's a learning experience. More like, I'm trash, this is trash, I'm never trying that again. Yeah, it's so easy to just be like, yeah, screw that. Not my thing, whatever, oh well, moving on. It is good to let's see if it'll let me log in. I'm trying to log into Google Keyword Planner so I can show you guys. Aha, there we go, I got it. But you definitely need to figure out that experimentation phase where you figure out what's hitting well and you can get a good base of analytics. And then you can take that to your community and go, hey, I've noticed that y'all like this. How do you feel if I start bringing more of this in? And then you can find compromises rather than just being selfish and going, well, why don't you guys like what I'm doing? You're a bad community. Because I think it's so easy to take that onto ourselves and just take it as a personal thing. And it's not, it's entertainment. People are entertained by this. They have, you know, wants and needs of their own. And if you're putting stuff out there that doesn't coincide with their wants and needs, then you can't get mad at them for not showing up. It's not their fault. All right, I finally got that up. Switch to the, no, that's not what I wanted. There we go. So this is Google Keyword Planner. This has been so invaluable to me. You can sign up for this for free. It's a little bit of tricky. There's a workaround that you can find. It will try to make you start an ad campaign through Google, which you don't technically need to do to start this, but you can look up workarounds on YouTube to get into this for free and set up a Google Ads account without actually starting an ad. But you can do, let's see, Warzone. Let's just type in Warzone. Get results. So anything related to Warzone, broaden your search. War games, shooter games, video games, computer games, all of these things can be added in to broaden your search. But let's just say Warzone. Average monthly searches for Warzone itself, 100,000 to 1 million. The competition is relatively low. You can go through all of these related keywords and find out what people are searching for and in what amounts. And keyword by relevance. You can just do all of these different things to figure out exactly what you're looking for. And through this, you can see what your community or community of people interested in these topics are searching for. And then this will translate over to YouTube as well, because Google and YouTube are obviously connected. So these things are going to be very similar to what you're going to find on YouTube. So these are the average monthly searches: Warzone PC, blah, 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 all that. Anything that has medium competition to low competition with a decent amount of views every month is going to be a good choice. And then you can take these keywords and use them in your videos and your streams and things like that to pinpoint these topics that people in that community are interested in. Music's a little loud. All right, I'll turn it down a sec. Is that a little better? It was, yeah, I see where it was. It was peaking in like the middle yellow range. That's definitely not where I want it to be. Thanks for the heads up, Emperor. Yeah, so Google Keywords, super helpful tool. I'm gonna throw that in the video that I'm working on for YouTube, because I want to do a whole like YouTube SEO stream for anybody who's interested in YouTube gaming. Because something that is super cool about getting your SEO set on YouTube gaming when you're doing your streams is that people find you through search. Not just find you through search, but they are recommended to you based off of simple things like, well, I'll give you an example. I was talking with somebody on a consultation the other day, and I mentioned streaming on YouTube, and they're like, oh, well, that sounds kind of interesting. Let me check this out. While we were consulting, they went over to YouTube Gaming, or YouTube Live, whatever you want to call it, and typed in Apex, and went to the Apex game channel, clicked over to live, and it started recommending all of the streams that were playing the champions that they had recently searched. So the champions that they were interested in, people who were playing those and had put that in their title and their descriptions, were popping up in their feed of suggested live streams. So if you can learn to tap into that with the games that you're playing, analyze specific interests in your communities and broader communities, not just your community, but the community as a whole around the game that you're playing or the subjects that you're talking about, and start working those keywords into your titles and your descriptions and your thumbnails, which you can set beforehand on YouTube, you can start getting more traction and showing up in search results rather than just hoping that somebody scrolls through and finds you, which is how it is on all of these other streaming sites. What are your thoughts on TubeBuddy and vidIQ? vidIQ, I like both of them, honestly. I use TubeBuddy a little bit more than vidIQ. I don't really remember why. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't remember why I switched away from vidIQ. There was just something that kind of annoyed me about it. But I do have the TubeBuddy. Here, let me pull that up. Where's it at? Okay. So I do have the TubeBuddy plugin installed. So it shows up on the side with basically all of the info for that video, and you can do it on your own videos as well. This is super handy to download the Chrome plugin for TubeBuddy. vidIQ has one as well, I believe, and you can check videos in your niche and see what they're using for keywords, thumbnail type things, like basically how these high view, high traffic videos, what they're doing behind the scenes to get their video into that position. So see, like this one, they don't really have a whole lot going on with it. They didn't put any tags. There's not a whole lot of SEO stuff going on other than just you know, this. So they're not really going to show up in search a whole lot unless you're literally searching for like Twitch stream music synthwave mix. Which is why they don't really have a whole lot of views on this. I think that they probably could have a lot more views if they put some more work into their SEO. But let's go to a video like Ashney, maybe. Let's check out an Ashney video. She usually has pretty good SEO. I don't see her on the first page. Let's just click on Devin real quick. Let's see what Devin's got going on, then we'll pop over to an Ashney video. So see this one, he has a bunch of tags down here. He has a little bit better score, 55, still not like up there, but he's getting into the yellowy green. All of these things are going to contribute to making your video more searchable. Tags, I mean, like, tags have been a little bit dubious as to what they actually do. They've kind of downgraded their part they play, but I think they are still somewhat important. I just don't really put a whole lot of effort into them lately because I'm trying to experiment and see if it really makes that much of a difference. But tags, I think, are a good way to focus your content and give just that one little extra piece of information for the algorithm to latch onto. TubeBuddy is really good because it will give you that breakdown of like, yes, tags aren't super effective, but this is overall everything that you need to have a super strong SEO setup on your video. So I think it's good for beginners because as a beginner, you don't really understand, you don't have that intuition, you don't know exactly. I mean, to be real, most of us when we start out don't even know what SEO is. Like when I started out, I had understood SEO from like an old school perspective of like writing blogs and website copy and things like that. I didn't really understand YouTube search. It didn't click with me that it was so similar to just regular Google rankings. What's up? Welcome to the channel. How's your day going, buddy? But yeah, the whole TubeBuddy thing is really good for beginners. It can help you get that base knowledge down. But I think that some of their stuff is becoming a little bit outdated, like how much emphasis they put on tags. Tags are the least of your worry, to be honest. Like that would be the last thing that you put effort into should be your tags, in my opinion. You should put way more effort into planning the keywords in your title and your description, planning out your thumbnail. Those are the three things that you need to be focusing on more so than tags. And TubeBuddy, I feel like, puts a little bit too much emphasis on tags. Because they used to play a lot bigger part from what I've read in discoverability. They just don't, and TubeBuddy never really updated. Oh man, but yeah, that's some of the tools that you can use. Sorry, my voice is starting to fry. Oh man, I didn't expect to lose it that quickly. I took some Dayquil and stuff. It just doesn't seem to be kicking in yet. But something that really helps that I heard the other day is, I didn't actually know this, but it makes sense going back and looking at my videos and the ones that did well comparatively, kind of isolating the certain things that I did that made them pop off. Having your keywords front loaded in the title, so it's right at the beginning, and having like say you want to do a video about Darkest Dungeon 2, but you're trying to grind out this certain part, so you would put Darkest Dungeon 2 right at the beginning with the the keyword related to what you're trying to do. So that would be right off the bat, the YouTube algorithm crawls through the first part of your title and knows exactly what it's about. If you put it at the end, it kind of goes through all of this other garble and this other jargon, and then it's just like, well, I don't know what this video is about, and then it moves on. But if you put it right dab smack at the beginning, it goes, Darkest Dungeon video, cool, I know where to put this. And there you go, you have a little bit more success on your video. Whereas if you're just confusing the crap out of the algorithm with a bunch of different keywords that don't necessarily relate, talking about games that don't relate, or making a gaming video description too personal and abstract. Like you want to make sure that everything just gets right to the point, makes everything nice and clear and simple. The trend that's going around right now is this whole like the whole Ludwig thing, and these just like, I'll just come out and say it, like god awful thumbnails, like horribly done thumbnails that are just like, by technical old school YouTube standards, just flat out suck. Like you can't look at the video and immediately know what it is. You're just like, it's more of like an interest peak thing, like, ooh, I wonder what that video's about. But for the majority of us starting out, that's not going to help you a whole lot. It's much better, in my opinion, as somebody who's trying to do this myself, focus on just the good old classic SEO stuff, like getting your keywords down, using Keyword Planner, Google Keyword Planner, and other sites like that to figure out what keywords are getting searched, like for the specific games you're creating, contents, your topics you're covering. Figure out your keywords, put those in there, focus on those things, and then once you get a little bit of momentum from that and actually showing up in search, then you can start hitting suggested, and you'll start showing up. Once the algorithm knows that you make content that doesn't suck butt, then they'll start putting you in the suggested and up next and stuff like that. And once you start showing up in that, which you can find through your analytics, your YouTube analytics in Studio, you can start going, okay, well now I'm going to start getting a little bit more abstract. I'm going to start getting a little bit more creative, and hopefully start pulling in some of that suggested traffic, because that's where you really start getting traffic for those kind of like new style YouTube videos where it's the meme like thumbnail and very simple, like 2 or 3 word weird title, like I tripped my grandpa or something like that. Like just these random things that you're just like, what the heck is this video? Like, why would I click on this? But it's just so intriguing and weird that you're like, I have to click on that, and it's showing up in my suggested, so it must be related. That's when you can start doing that. But I feel like a lot of people jump into that and they go, oh shit, well, like Ludwig and all these dudes just went crazy on this new style of YouTube content, and now everyone's trying to do that, and it's just not the easiest way to do it. You can, and if you hit it, you can pop off, but it is so much harder to get attention than if you just go the old school SEO methods and do what works until you build that foundation, and then you can start doing these more experimental things. Computer Chick, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. You like vidIQ? I did use vidIQ for a little bit, and I do like them, but I cannot remember for the life of me why I stopped. I love watching their YouTube channel. I follow them on Twitter and interact all the time, but for some reason I stopped using the app and switched to TubeBuddy. I'll have to check back in and see why that was. JDD uses TubeBuddy as well. Nice. Yeah, so those are some of the things that helped me take off. So another just like little optimization tip is in your thumbnails, make sure that you're putting something that it's just quick thumbnail tips for SEO, because that falls under the search engine optimization, because you're optimizing your video for search. And not only does the YouTube algorithm look at your thumbnails and use image recognition to figure out what it is, it will impact how people click it, because if they have a hard time relating to the thumbnail or it doesn't pop out, then they're not going to click it, obviously. And so it doesn't make your search very good, and then your click-through rate's bad, and the YouTube algorithm takes that into account when it's factoring in the SEO. So then if your click-through rate is bad because of your shitty thumbnail, then there you go, bad SEO. So that's how thumbnails relate to SEO. But try putting things that are easily relatable in your thumbnail, like familiar objects, phone, coffee. Like, you know, everybody does that thing where they're like thumbnail, and it's like, you know, their phone up there we go, you know, their phone up with something on it or something like that, like screen grabbed over the top of it or photoshopped over the top of it. Those things are especially for larger creators because you have something that's very familiar. It's like a familiar face because you know the creator. They're showing you something literally on their phone, which is a familiar act in our everyday interaction. It's just like, yo, look at this, and you show somebody on your phone. Those types of little familiar, comfortable elements added into your thumbnails are going to make it much more likely that somebody's going to click on it. It just triggers that in our brain where we're just like, oh yeah, that, and it feels right to click on it. Another thing is using my video that went off the most was, I'll show you the thumbnail for it. Where you be? All right. So this is the one that did the best for me at 39,000 1 year ago. And this has the little coffee cup and the phone. This is, excuse me, literally just a stock photo that I pulled, a free, you know, no rights or no copyright image from Pixabay. And then I just did the most basic crap lettering around the outside, 5 Twitter pro tips. But it ended up working because it had that pop of familiar aspect, and then the brightness of the lettering stood out from this regular background and meshed well with the other elements. It had a nice flow to it. It had a little bit of pop because you have the standout blue color, the standout orange color. You want things that are going to contrast against this basic background that YouTube has. Anything that's going to pop a little bit, you're going to want to go for it. You don't want things that are going to blend in. Anything that's going to mimic the colors of YouTube, you know, the basic red, white, and black, things like that. Anything that's going to blend in with that, you want to steer clear from. Because when people are scrolling through, a lot of people tend to do those very plain, simple backgrounds because they're thinking like, as an image, this looks very striking and good. But when you put it up on YouTube and you have that white, black, red, that typical gaming color palette, it just gets lost because it doesn't jump out from the rest of YouTube. So you want to look at colors that are contrast against the YouTube palette and find something that's going to grab people's eye as they're scrolling through. So that helps tremendously with getting that click-through rate, which is going to increase how much YouTube pushes your video to other people. Come on, mute. Sorry about that. All right. Does anyone have any questions about stuff? How are you guys feeling about SEO? Do you feel like you have a good grasp on SEO for yourself and for your channel? Is there anything that confuses you? Anything that you've heard that's like a weird rumor? I'm gonna start getting the game up here because I'm gonna hop on some old pub for a little bit. JD says I've been doing SEO on my videos. Nice. Have you been seeing better results from that? Alright. I might disappear for a second while I try to get, well, not like disappear, but I'm not gonna be able to read chat for a second while I try to get the game up because I forgot to set this up beforehand, because I do that sometimes. I was like, yes, I got my stream all set up, because I went through and changed my webcam and did the cutout, and I found this like overlay, and then I edited that and added the glitch effect, and I changed my follower alerts and stuff. So did a bunch of work, and then I was like, ah, crap, it's 10 o'clock, I need to start, and then I forgot to set the game up, so I'll get that going. I've been having a lot of fun with shooter games for some reason since I got my glasses. I hated shooters before my glasses, especially for streaming, because I was always so bad at them and I felt awful. I was just like, didn't have fun, died instantly because I couldn't see. And I didn't realize how big of an effect that had on things until I got my glasses and started playing like battle royale games and stuff again. I was just like, this is actually kind of fun. Now I see why people do this. It's not impossible. I just couldn't see. PUBG, you gonna open? Jay said, I also learned the hard way that even if you do SEO but no one really cares about that content, for example, it's not going to work out that well. Well, that comes into then turns out that I did not read TubeBuddy correctly, but I also understand that SEO will help bring viewers to click your video, assuming thumbnail and title is good. Yeah, I think that the content definitely needs to be good. You gotta have that for sure. I found that getting right to the point helps a lot. Just like jumping right into the topic, instead of having what a lot of new YouTubers do, what I did, not right now, I don't want GeForce highlights at this exact moment. What I used to do was have this like 3-minute intro to my videos where I just talk about myself and this is my experience and this is what led me to this point. And I was noticing that in my 12-15 minute videos, people were just not getting through it. They were getting like 2-3 minutes in, and then by the time I actually started talking about the topic, they were gone. So that's something that helped me, is just like, even if it's a really solid video, having that long intro turns people off and they won't even get to the content. So that was one of the biggest things that I learned, is just like get to the point. Node. Aha, there we go. I'm getting there. I'm getting it set up. I'm in the game. I just need to add it to OBS now. Any of you guys like playing PUBG? I got it set up right. Yeah, I do have it set up right. Nice. Yeah, definitely important to just get right to the point. Cool. Welcome to the stream. Says I need to go back and watch the first part of the stream. Sad I missed it. Also, hey Sid. Hey Kill. Welcome to the stream. Use SEO to see what type of script I can make. That's really handy too, because okay, so this is something that I learned that just like absolutely changed. I'm gonna switch back real quick. This is something that I learned that just like absolutely changed my YouTube game. YouTube actually has a bot that goes through the first, like, I don't know exactly how long it is, but it's the first like minute or so of the video, and they see if there's blatant, you know, obviously like blatant pornography, or if there's excessive language, or things that affect who that video would be targeted towards, whether it should be put in front of children, etc. And they actually use that to decide whether the video is recommendable or not to what your SEO, whether it matches up with your SEO, and they can use that to detect clickbait. So if you're jumping right into the video and getting to the point and dropping those keywords audibly in the video that relate to the other SEO in your title and in your in your description, it will boost you a little bit better, because they go, oh shoot, this video is actually what it's saying it is, so I guess we should put it in front of more people. So I definitely would recommend giving that a try. So let me change up something real quick in settings, because ADS toggle hold. All right, let's try that. Because last time I hopped in, I had a little bit of a hard time with my aiming. Let's just hop into some solo. What are your thoughts on niche? I think, if there's anybody who's more experienced with YouTube, feel free to correct me on this. I'm not gonna get mad. But from my understanding, YouTube has started focusing more on video to video analytics rather than looking at your channel as a whole. So if you have one video that has good SEO, then that video is going to do well. And if you can manage to have that video pop off and get the attention to your channel, it seems like this is taking a little while. If you can get the attention to your channel, then you can use that to boost up your other videos. But the thing where niche comes into play is not necessarily with the YouTube algorithm and with their ranking, but with the community itself, and whether or not people can, once they subscribe to you, get an accurate read on what you're doing. So in a way it will fall into the SEO category, because as you build that community and you get, sorry, my tongue's getting away from me. So you build a community, that community of people is who YouTube is going to serve your video to first. So you got the topic of the script, but what you mean script isn't like making a skip. Okay, yeah, I got what you mean. But yeah, so like they'll serve that video to your community first. And if it doesn't do well and people aren't interested in your own community, that's gonna severely hurt the reach later on. But if you are, why is it taking so long to load in? Oh my God. If you are creating videos that consistently relate to your audience, which is where keyword research comes in, and being able to find those related keywords that are popular and are rising in results through Google keyword search and other apps, you can create videos that are going to consistently land a little bit better, which YouTube then picks up on and goes, well, they're making, you know, good content, then they must have something going on over there, and then they'll start feeding it to more people. I don't know what the difference between one-man squad is and solo is, but let's try one-man squad and see if it'll load in a little bit faster. I just loaded into a match. I don't know why it's taking this long right now. Jay says that's what I'm experiencing right now. Just take a step back and figure out where I went wrong. Yeah, sometimes like it's good to have that experimentation and to figure out what's gonna land with your community, but it really does hurt when you're making videos that just are technically good videos. Like you can make a perfectly good video, but if it doesn't land with that initial audience that YouTube is serving you to,
you want to earn more views, more subscribers, watch time.
If you're not serving that community that they're sending these videos out to, then you're just not gonna get anywhere, even if it's a perfectly good video. So it is important to stick to, we're in, nice. It is important to stick to that niche, especially when you're first starting out. But being able to balance that is, I think that once you start figuring out how to use keyword searches and find related topics that your community might be interested in, it frees you from that like hyper specific niche, because you can start figuring out related topics that they're interested in and go, oh, I like that too, so why don't I do a video about that? Because they don't just they don't just suggest you to people who are in your community, they suggest you as well to people who are in your extended community. So like people that have not necessarily subscribed to your channel, but anybody who's interacted with your content or seen your content. What the heck is this? Where the fuck? I have not played this map. Okay. Let's drop, shit. Let's drop up here. Yeah, let's drop up there. They'll show your video to people who are like in the extended community of people who have potentially come across your video at some point and clicked it, whether they've subscribed, liked, or anything. They're now in your extended circle. So once you start doing a little bit with your actual community, they'll start serving it to that extended group. So if you can dial in who that extended group is through looking at your analytics and looking at videos that hit off well, you can start figuring out content that's outside of your main niche that allows you to be a little bit more creative. I really just wanted the screen size down, not the actual like resolution, but oh well. But I hope everyone is having a great day and all of that stuff made sense. Let me change this a little bit because I cannot hear the game. That is super loud. Turn the music down. Turn the music down quite a bit. Looks like I gotta go, but thanks for your advice. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Jay. It was good to see you. The superstar Vex, welcome to the stream. Give me the gun. How's your day going, Vex? Really gonna have to work on the settings for this game if I want to stream it, because this is kind of annoying. I will get it figured out though. Where's everybody? There's somebody around here. Vex is not bad. Stayed up way too late.
More views, more subscribers, more watch time, and of course, make more money. Well, it might
Why are there so many ads on this? There were not ads. I'm so mad. They added ads to my favorite playlist. Game with the frying pan? It is the game with the frying pan, yeah. The frying pan is so OP. Alright, I got a backpack. Bandages. No. Let's switch to backpack level 2. I don't know where everybody is right now. I'm guessing they're somewhere around here and I'm probably gonna get shot. Because my graphics are really low and I can't see. Get me in the window. All right. So I don't have any energy drinks. I need to drink some energy drinks, but I don't have any at the moment, so I guess we'll just keep looting. Bill. What do I have on here? I got the flash suppressor for the AK. I do have a decent weapon right now, so that's good. I have a couple of decent weapons. I'm gonna make my way up the hill. So there's somebody over here for sure. You know what? I think I'm actually just gonna turn off the music because I can't hear what's going on right now. Music's gonna have to go away. The rest can get turned up. All right. There we go. Now I might be able to hear what's going on. Oh man, but I feel so much better this year compared to last year as far as burnout goes. I was so burned out last year around this time. It was so frustrating, but I feel like I'm kind of figuring out balance a little bit better these days. There's a lot of gunshots going around, but I don't see anybody. So they're literally right in front of me. Where the heck you be? I really am kind of annoyed that the minimap doesn't show where people are. Just like, really? Like I have no idea where these people are other than just by my sight and my ears, which is what the heck? Where was I even shot from? I'm really confused. Really confused. So I was looking all over the place and I didn't see anybody, and then I just got rammed. Just like out of nowhere, just lit up. He wasn't even shooting at me though. Like, huh? I'm confused by that one. All right. Like I was watching him and he didn't fire at me. Unless the settings are just so low. I don't know. Like hit markers weren't going off. Like I don't know what the heck happened there. I did do damage, but like I just wasn't having any hit markers. Okay. So let me check settings real quick here, because that just seems to be not amazing. Okay, free look. Yes. So I'm gonna switch this to, I want to revert these. There we go. We'll reverse those. Let's go to gameplay. Place. there is something that default firing mode for ARs. There we go. Burst, full auto. I want to switch that all to full auto. Everything gets switched to full auto because I do not want to pick that up. That is one thing that really threw me off when that's what made me rage so hard when I first picked up this game, is I switched on the game and picked up my first gun. It was like, yes, automatic rifle, one shot. It was like, immediately got killed. I was like, if I had been able to fire, I would have been able to kill them, but I didn't know that it was a single shot. So let's do that. I don't want to automatically reload because I feel like that's going to screw me up. So I have it windowed. Let's see if this. I'm trying to think what the ratio would be. I think it's 1440/900. Trying to make it a little bit bigger so I can see better, have a little bit better graphics going. But that is the wrong size. Must be this one. Thanks for hanging out today, everyone. Question of the day: what was the first game that you ever beat? Like 100% through beat. Not even like all the achievements and stuff like that, but just like, what was the first game that you tackled all the way to the end? Alright, so I am just changing some stuff around in OBS to make this a little bit easier to see. Shining Force 2. I've never heard of that one. What platform was that on? Oh my god, so fiddly. Trying to change the ratio on... There we go. Trying to change the ratio on OBS and it's just like, no, I don't want to. It's like a centimeter space that I can change. Alright, let's overall graphics quality is on medium. I think that should be good. Processing, shadows, effects. Mega Drive, Sega Genesis, way on back there. Nice. I had a Sega Genesis for a minute, but I don't really remember it playing anything on it. I remember playing a lot more on my NES. Alright, so I don't like one-man squad. One-man squad is weird. I'm going into solo. Yeah, let's just drop into solo. That should be a little better. What the heck is going on with my character right now? My character's really wonky looking. Let me go in here. The fun part about streaming a new game and being like, let's see, what am I going to do to make this look decent? Render scale, resolution scale, overall graphics quality. I just want okay, textures. There we go. Let's just up the textures. See if that helps. Grew up poor and now I'm somehow even poorer. I'm definitely way worse off than when yeah, no, I'm definitely poorer than when I grew up. I was gonna say, like, I think I made a little bit more than my dad did, but like, no, like, cause my dad had one business, and he made usually about 35 to 45 a year. I think me and Shaukia combined made 45 one year. Get back here. Kick the ball. What? Why didn't he kick the ball? It's an easy goal. Ah! Goal! Messi over here. Playing like Messi. Alright, where should I drop? Let's drop somewhere kind of chill. Drop over here. Sounds good. Yeah, I had a NES for a little bit. I gamed a lot more like as a real little kid. I played games quite a lot, and then my dad got remarried. My stepmom didn't really like video games. She thought they were violent and that I could be doing better things with my time. So after my NES mysteriously broke, we didn't get any more games until I was like 12 or 13. And that's because I convinced my grandparents to buy me one. Shitty shit. Well, I feel kind of bad for that one, but you know, don't be dumb. I'll take your boots. I'll take your mask. I'll take your wig too. Take all your freaky stuff. Couple of painkillers. Energy drink, nice. When I was about 12, it still was on single when I loaded in. I don't know why it decided to do that. It's just like, nah, I know you said you wanted it full auto, but I'm gonna die because I'm out of ammo. How did I hit them so many times and not get a kill? I don't know. This is running really jittery. I need to go tweak settings again, because that was awful. That was just really awful. That was so stuttery, I couldn't see shit. Alright. Tweak. Tweak more things. There we go. Wow, it is really, really glitching out right now. It is not happy. Yes. Don't know why it's doing this. I might have to pop off the stream for a minute and get settings figured out for this, because it seems like it's just not running properly. I thought I had this all set up and I was like, oh yeah, I can run this fine, and now it just doesn't seem to want to do it. I don't know what's going on with my PC. Which is frustrating, because I really was looking forward to playing some games today, but I also don't want to keep hopping into matches if it's going to stutter the stream out and not be watchable. But let me check this real quick. FPS. Let's up the max FPS. Render scale. I've been really struggling with my PC lately because I got the 1060, but it's a 3 gig, and it just doesn't seem to have enough juice to do what I want it to anymore. It was doing fine, and it was great for, it's still great for just like editing and things, but beta no. So everything should be running fine. Okay, let's turn off NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA might be freaking it out. Let's try that. I don't think any of these things will affect it. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to get this to be more like just when I click it, I want it to sight in, and it's not doing that. It's making me toggle. I don't know why. What's everyone's plans for the week? What y'all got going on? I'm gonna be, hopefully if I can get my COVID test back today and be all clear, I'm gonna head back to work. Start making some money again. Cause I had to take a few days off because of this cold, because once they saw my symptoms, they were just like, yeah, no, you're not coming back till you get a test. So it looks like I haven't really dropped, yeah, I have dropped some due to rendering and encoding, but not too bad on my end for the stream. Every time I play a new game, I'm always so worried that things are just gonna not run properly, which is, I mean, kind of what they're doing now. They're not really running super well, but we're getting it tweaked, we're getting it figured out. What I'd love to do is just go to Best Buy, get an open box deal, and get that second PC going. That would be amazing. Just get a small monitor over here. That way I can have chat and everything, and then game, dual PC. Yeah, I gotta make the jump to dual PC at some point. Unfortunately, I just haven't really had the space, but I think I could probably make it work under here. Game changer? I can only imagine. Can only imagine. I know that the whatchamacallit, why is that not working? It's weird. Anyways, I was just gonna go like, the Stream Deck has changed it, and then the freaking button that I went to hit didn't work. I had a chat command set up that was like all of my links and stuff, and I was like, yeah, look at the cool stuff I can do, and then I hit it and it just didn't do anything. Like, oh, well, there's that. That one works. Emperor says I'm gonna go lay on the floor and stare at the ceiling for a while. I feel that. I've been exhausted. Just at this time of year is just like exhausting on an existential level. It's like, I've been watching a lot of, while I was sick, I watched through the whole, what the heck is the name of that show? I need to look at it now because I can't remember the name of the show. Yay, technical difficulties. Always. Always technical difficulties, without fail, every time. Let's see. Come on, phone. Load. Midnight Gospel, that's the show I've been watching. It's so existential and trippy. It probably is. It's honestly helped me a little bit because it's kind of been a lot of the subjects that I've been thinking about on my own, but just put out with really trippy, comforting cartoons. So it's kind of been tackling a lot of the things that I've been really depressed about, while doing it in a way that's not really assaulting. I'm actually gonna go here a little bit further away. Midnight Gospel is crazy. Yeah, it's nuts. I love it though. Like that just, that's my vibe right there. Like if I could just do that for a job, yeah, I would definitely be making that type of content. I'd be just like, yeah, no more marketing content. I'm doing multiverse content. Right. So let's see how quickly I get shot. Going in nice and slow. Come on, come on. Forward. Run, 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 run. I landed too far out. Shitty shit. Yeah, just kind of learning more about the place that meditation and spirituality needs to play in my life, instead of just getting so caught up in making money and being successful and, you know, just kind of forgetting why I do any of the things that I do. It's not to make money and to be successful in that sense. It's to be able to enjoy my life and spend more time with Xiaokia and spend more time enjoying and doing what I want to do, instead of just feeling like I'm always trying to just keep up. You know, because that's the point that I'm at a lot of times right now with my everyday life, is I just feel like I'm trying so hard to just keep up on everything going around that I don't pay attention to how do I use the energy drink? Oh, use. Completely lost year of why anybody does anything. Yeah, it's definitely hard to focus on trying to make content and trying to be this persona of like, yeah, we're all here it goes, dropping frames again. I might not be able to play this one on stream either. This is just freaking right out right now. It's buffering, it's lagging pretty badly. I'm not going to be able to play this until I get my settings figured out. I'll play through this match. I don't know. Why can it play Fortnite and all of these other things, but it can't play this game? It can play Fortnite, it can play Path of Exile, it can play all of this crap, but not PUBG, which is like the most potato game. No, I'm on OBS, so a little bit less drag anyways, but the problem is I'm on maybe if I stop the replay buffer, it'll give me a little bit more juice. See about that. I just realized that I have replay buffer on, so that might be taking a little bit more juice. Might be draining my system. So I think I'm gonna try turning that off. That seems to be running a little bit smoother. OBS is pretty good. I like OBS. It's been all right. Looking better. Okay, so that might be what it was. It might have been my replay buffer that I had on, because oh man, I was hoping to use that as like nope, here we go, stuttering again. Anytime the game does something, it freaks out. Okay. I'm just gonna see how long it takes me to die. It's not gonna be very long. Because I was hoping to use the replay buffer as a way to get clips. But it seems like that's not gonna let me do it. And I'm not gonna be able to kill anybody with this going the way this is. There's somebody up here. You have a marker button. In your game setting, max FPS was... Oh shoot, my max FPS went up. You're right, I did move that back up. All right, let's get to cover. Thank you for that suggestion. That's actually a really great suggestion. Let me get back in here. Shitty shit. I'm gonna die. Woof! Wow, how did I not die? I was lagging all over the place. Oh my god. Alright. I just wanna do my thing. Welcome to the stream. Waltert? Is that how you say your name? Drop it down. Come on. Come on. There we go. Let's try 70, because I think that should help. Waltert, welcome to the stream. Alright, got a helmet. Grab ammo, grab ammo. Let's switch out that baby for that. Swap that for that. Alright. It's a little bit, it's still stuttering pretty hard. It's having some struggles. Display based. Let's set it to display based maybe. try that. Really bad ping right now too. My ping keeps spiking up to like above 120. I don't really know why this is doing this. So you're streaming on Twitter, taking a break from work. Thought I'd pop in. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. And I really appreciate the tips helping me kind of work through this. It's my first time streaming pub, so I'm still trying to get everything figured out. I was going to do Warzone, but that definitely was not going to run. Rumbling and messing up my recording. That sucks. Yeah, I have that happen all the time. Trying to do a YouTube video and my stomach's just like, brah. Okay. Let's head back over here, lay down in the corner. Somebody's just gonna come in and shoot me in the butt, but that's okay. Let's drop it down to 60. Come on. Down. There. Empress says I haven't been bold enough to solo queue Warzone yet. I've been having so much fun in Warzone, but I have been getting killed a lot in stinking awful situations because of my PC glitching out right as soon as I get into high intense combat with more than like 1 or 2 people. It just goes blah, and then it's just like tick, 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 and I can't. I just die every time. I'm getting so annoyed with FPS games at the moment because I never used this PC really for anything more than like Fortnite or as far as like games like that goes, and the rest was all local stuff, local games of like Skyrim and things like that. And this just seems to be wrecking my PC. Low. Let's try that. Kill number 2. That's running better. Did we do it? We just gotta run real low settings. Absolute ultra low. The lowest of the low. Slap that on. Give me the frags. Get a level 2 vest. Level 2 helmet. And I think that should be good. I'll take their goggles too, and the beanie. I think that should be all right. What else do I need for this 9mm? I'll take the 9mm. I'm gonna get shot standing here for too much longer. All right. How do I get out of that? Okay, there we go. AFK a minute or two. Need a bite to eat. That sounds good to me. I'm like well and truly way where I'm supposed to be right now. Don't really have anything that's gonna get me up there. I don't think I'm gonna make it out of the storm. Let me put up this so I can run faster. I always forget you run faster in pub when you holster your weapon. Cause I always hate being caught without my weapon. It's like, no, don't put the weapon away, I'm gonna die. I'm honestly shocked that I survived those 2 encounters with how jittery everything was going. Okay, it seems like things are going a little bit better now. Now that I'm sufficiently lost and way away from where I'm supposed to be. Emperor, we should definitely hop on some Warzone or something though. Like if I set everything super low, I can get away with playing it. I just can't stream it. Yep, I died. Well, at least we figured out how to get it to do it. So that's a plus. I might be able to actually get through the entirety of the stream. That would be nice. When are you usually playing? I know you're up late nights, but are you usually excuse me. Usually I was catching your streams like when I wake up in the morning, which is prime game time for me, is hop on before work. If you want to do some like early morning stream, like I'm down for hopping in. Proxy stream for you. That's hilarious. Sweet stayed with me once a week or so. She just takes over it. That's awesome. You're not up late nights anymore. Are you getting your 2 kills? Look at that. Woo. Fixed your schedule? Sweet. So what's your schedule on now, dude? Last match mastery report. I got 2 kills for a massive, whopping 169 damage. Yeah. While the stream was stuttering and I could barely even move in the game, it was lagging so bad. Yes, all right. Freaking Shroud 2.0 over here, baby. Oh yeah, that good stuff. Pretty standard PST up around 8, around 12 a.m. Flexible, nice. Oh yeah, that sounds good. That sounds like a much better time for you. I felt so bad hearing you just like up all night long. What did you do to manage to fix it, if you don't mind me asking? Did you just go hardcore like, no, this is my schedule, and just do like a hard reset? Shroud Lance. It's better than the nickname that kept popping up on Twitter every now and then, which is Sidpai. Like Senpai, but Sidpai. Shokia likes Sidsei better. Just like, oh yes, you got stream coach, stream doctor, and then just me off by myself, just being Sidsei. Just over here doing my own thing. I was actually getting ready for this stream this morning and was watching one of Shroud's matches, just like, all right, I need to get a refresher on PUB because I haven't played in like 2 years. So I was just going through checking out some of the stuff, and he's just like mind-blowing. I don't understand how that guy plays as well as he does. I mean, he's played every FPS game imaginable, so like he's had so much practice, but he is insane at what he does. I watched him drop like, I think 34 kills. 34 kills in this. It was nuts. Slow, painful adjustment, hard reset, a couple 28-hour days. Yeah, that sounds miserable, but sometimes you gotta do it. You just gotta get your body to that point where it's just pooped, and then you can slowly work your way into a little bit better schedule. Apple to the face. Eat your apples. Be healthy. Oh my goodness. It throws me off so much that they have multiple maps. I mean, I'll get used to it. This is fun. I enjoy it. But like, holy crap, let me get used to one map before you throw me into something else, right? This looks like a good compound. Let's drop there. Let's drop at that compound. And eject. Oops, wrong button. I'm still doing Warzone controls. Just like, no, that's right. Wait, no, I'm still in the plane. I can imagine that was brutal, though. That's kind of how it was when I stopped working in kitchens. So it was just, I didn't really know how to live otherwise. They're gonna hot drop. Not hot drop, but they're gonna get there before I am, and they're gonna get a weapon, and I'm gonna die. Up. Weapon. Weapon. Woof. Did they not hit me at all? That's surprising. Really shocked that they didn't hit me. All right. Okay, let me see what I got right now. So I got 60 on my ump. Was this the AK? A little bit of ammo for the AK. Let's switch that over. Switch that to burst. Somebody up on the top of that ridge. I'll take the level 2 helmet. So something that I learned, I didn't really know this, but apparently with helmets and stuff, you're better off sticking with a broken, or not broken, but like mostly cracked higher level helmet than you are going with a lower level helmet that has more durability, which I thought was interesting. I didn't really think that that would be the case, but apparently it is. Thought I heard somebody, but it might just be far away gunshots. I think that's just far away gunshots. Good. I'll grab a stun grenade, sure. First aid kit, that's handy. Yeah, that adjustment from being a night dweller to being somebody with a little bit more of a schedule, that can be so hard. When I was in kitchens, I was usually home around like 3 or 4 a.m. I got a pan! And being home around that time, especially with a relationship and being married, yes, better helmet, more durable helmet. Being married was just really killing my relationship. Not being married was killing my relationship, but being married and trying to maintain that schedule was just killing my relationship. Okay. I don't really know. Let's kind of hide here for a second. I don't really know where everyone is. Drop. I'm gonna try to push for this bit up here. Man, remember when this game was just like nuts? Like this was the pinnacle of gaming. Like 5 years ago or so, when you had like Doc and Shroud and all those, that was just insane. It's crazy how far battle royales have come, honestly. Like, looking at this, personally, this is shitty shit. Ow. Wow, that was a little bit further of a drop than I was expecting. Get on out of here. What you think you're doing? This is definitely more my speed. Grab the frag, grab that, ammo. Got the ump and the AK. I think I'm gonna leave the AK, but I'm gonna switch to... I'm definitely taking their dino booties though, fuck yeah. This game is definitely more my speed. I have to say so. Like, I don't understand a lot of times the moves that people do in like Apex especially. I just cannot follow that stuff. Apex throws me off because you've got like all of the special abilities for people. For like the different legends, and I just can't follow that. I cannot keep up with everything that they're able to do. It's like I come across somebody and they just like warp into the ether and are gone. I'm just like so confused. Anything? What's that? All right. Kids get up for school, so I'm early, have this project going to AU, 5 a.m. Oof, yeah, I'm up at right about that time every day too with my wife. She works as a dental assistant, so she has to be at work by 7, so we're usually up around 5 or 5:30. I'm guessing there's somebody over here in this compound. Pretty sure I heard them. I finally have my ADS down though, so that's good. There's definitely somebody over there. I'm just kind of waiting for them to come to me instead of busting in, guns blazing. I'm not comfortable enough with my skills to go in guns blazing yet. I've gotten incredibly lucky coming up against people who don't know how to shoot so far. In there? No. Somebody died right here. That's not a person. Thought that was a person for a second. Somebody got roasted here. I'm gonna take those bandages. Nope, I guess not. So this takes 45. That takes 9. I'm gonna get rid of the 9 and the 5.56, and I'll throw on bandages, and I'll take these. Cool. Nope, don't want that helmet. I watch people play these games, but don't play myself. Just don't enjoy FPS games. I used to hate them. I absolutely used to despise FPS games. I loved a couple. I loved like Call of Duty, like early Call of Duties, like the Black Ops 1 and 2 games, and especially zombies in those games. I loved those, and I had a whole period where I didn't really work. I was a hooligan for a while, and yes, level 2 backpack. I didn't really do much. I didn't have a job, and I just stayed home, and I smoked a lot of weed. And they were right here. but my eyesight was always too bad. I couldn't see, and I didn't realize that was as big of a problem as it was. There he is. I didn't realize that was as big of a problem. But for all these situations that I was getting into, I'm just like, why do I keep dying so fast? And it's just because I couldn't see where people were. My eyes weren't adjusting fast enough to be able to do these shots and to be able to pinpoint what people were doing. Where are you at? I don't know where they are right now. How can you afford weed without income? Well, that was the thing, is the income that I did make was coming from weed, and then I had all the weed that I wanted to smoke. Where the heck? You... What the heck? I would love to know how I didn't kill them. I would love to know what I was shooting. Death cam. Yeah, I want to see what happened there, because I don't know how they managed to... I mean, I know they managed to outshoot me because I couldn't really get them through their spot. Oh, I was bouncing it off the... Okay, I see what happened there. Yeah, I was bouncing it off the stupid Vespa, or whatever the heck that is. Yeah, I couldn't seem to get the shot through. Yeah, I see what happened there. I did manage to lay into him a little bit. Aha, they got it. All right. I did manage to lay into him a little bit, but not the best. But I got a couple of kills. I'm proud of that. Proud of that. And we got the game running, so that's a plus. This is, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that was a period of my life. But definitely happy that I have a little bit more going on in my life now. At the time, that was, you know, what I needed. I don't have any regrets. I definitely learned a lot at that point. It was a weird time. I was doing a lot of freelance work, picking up jobs for friends who did web development, doing my social media stuff, but I was just really, really depressed and was having a hard time. Was having a really hard time just keeping myself on task with anything. I didn't understand. I didn't understand some of these things that were going on in my head, like my neurodivergence and ADHD, and just any of that stuff didn't click with me. I always kind of just assumed like, oh, that's not me. That's not something that would affect me in any way. I'm just me. I'm just Sid. I was raised to think that ADHD and neurodivergence and stuff like that wasn't real. It was just, well, you're just a little bit different, and you know, that's just how it is, and you need to learn how to deal with that and be normal. And it's just not healthy. It's not a healthy way to be, especially as an early 20s something at that time identifying as male human being, you can't put all of that pressure on yourself as somebody with ADHD and chronic illness to just go out there and tackle the world like everyone else does. You can't throw somebody in there without the tools to achieve it. And I definitely did not have any of the tools to achieve it. So I don't hate that period of my life. I just didn't really know what I needed to do to get myself on track to where I wanted to go. And I just kind of floated along through life, and that's where I ended up. It was a heck of a lot better than being homeless, I'll tell you that. Met many people who smoke as a way to self-medicate for a number of illnesses, mental or otherwise. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that it is not for everybody. And I've been through periods in my life where it has not been for me at that time. I've just been in headspace where it makes me super paranoid and just really not pleasant experience. But if you learn to use it in a way that fits your symptoms in your body, I feel like it can be beneficial for not everybody, but most people. I think can find some way that it can benefit them. Not necessarily just taking a rip off a bong, but there are different ways that you can consume it that can help you, whether you get really low dose gummies, it can help with your pain and help with your anxiety in certain situations. But it's all about finding the right strains and the right dosage, and otherwise you're going to fuck yourself up and you're going to really hate it, which is what happened to my wife. She has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I always call it Dandros. I don't know why. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a collagen disorder where basically her body is hypermobile and things get displaced, including her organs and things like that. So she's in a lot of pain, needless to say. And I had this bright idea when we first got together, like, yeah, you should try weed. Like, I think this would be really good for you. So she started talking to a friend of hers at work, got a bunch of edibles, and was just like, all right, let's do some edibles together. I want to try this. She did some small ones, was fine, didn't feel shit. And then I came home one night. She's like, I got some cookies. Let's try these. I'm like, okay, let's take a bite and then we'll see how they set in. I hop in the shower, take my bite, come back out, and she's eaten the whole damn thing. So she spent the entire night puking her guts out, freaking out, panicking, anxiety, I'm gonna die, like crying her eyes out. And I'm just like, I had at that point, like, because I was dumb, I was just like, all right, well, you ate the whole thing. I've got a high tolerance. I'll just eat the whole thing too. Why not? I'll just be along for the ride. So I was like borderline freaking out, and it was just an awful experience. Fortunately, I had enough experience with like psychedelics and things to be able to ride through that and help her. But that turned her off for like 3 years. She did not even want to go near weed. And I actually stopped smoking for a long time because of that. I was just like, out of respect for that, I don't want to bring it around the house. You're not comfortable with it. You hate it. But then after a period of alcohol abuse and other substances, I started gravitating back towards weed as a way to get myself off of those other more harmful substances. And at that point, she started getting into it too. And we did the absolute most gentle ease-in process after that. I would take a little tiny one-hitter pipe that had maybe 3 puffs in it, and that would last me literally for like 4 or 5 days. I would take the smallest puffs. And then I would blow them to her as a shotgun so that she could get a little bit of an effect and ease into it. And now she smokes every day and is managing her pain, managing her depression, managing a lot of her symptoms through just THC-based products. So that I felt really good about that. I managed to help my wifey out with some of her pain. But yeah, I get that. If he says I feel like I don't have control of my brain space, so I don't partake. That's absolutely understandable, and a lot of people complain about that because you can get to that point where you're just too high and you're like, this is not helping me. I can't focus. I can't do shit. Like, it's not beneficial. In that case, I think really low, like more of a CBD tincture with maybe a small minuscule amount of THC in it, depending on where you live, whether that's legal. But like CBD, cannabinoids in general are so beneficial to the body. We actually have receptors in our body that are made to receive these things and are for different health benefits to help us regulate our system. So I think that it can be beneficial, but yeah, as like you said, if it makes you feel like you don't have control of yourself and you're uncomfortable with that, then that is perfectly good reason to stay away, and that's not something to feel bad about in any way. But THC is rough on me. Plenty of other supplements though. I cannot wait for this cough to go away. This cold is killing me. Yeah, I'll just come out and say it. I started microdosing a while ago in December. About a year ago, I started microdosing psychedelics, and I won't get into specifics and stuff because I don't want to get in trouble, but that definitely changed my life. I was a heavy... I know, I'm so happy with this mic. The mic little cough button is so handy. But I started microdosing psychedelics last year, and it got me off of cigarettes. I was a cigarette smoker for 8 years, and I microdosed, and I was just like, immediately, every time I smoked a cigarette, after like a couple of microdoses, I would start throwing up. Halfway through the cigarette, throw up every time. And after like 1 or 2 days of that, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And it just killed my urge for them. And I dropped it cold turkey. After 8 years, tried multiple times to quit, microdosed 3 times, and was just like, nope, no more cigarettes for me. And I'm coming up in like almost a year without cigarettes, just from nothing. Just a pack a day, just straight to nothing. So it definitely helped me. I think that's another one of those things though, just like THC, where it's like if you don't have experience with these things in the past and you just start jumping right into it, it can be so overwhelming. And it's good to be able to be in a safe spot where you can experiment with that and just be like, okay, I'm kind of feeling it. Like, let me just like breathe a little bit. I don't have to worry about responsibilities. But if you have kids, you have a family, that's the times where you can do that are so slim. So I can see how that would be really difficult if you have those responsibilities. Microdosing. Yes, I do love some good microdosing. I'm at the point where I don't take it, because I was microdosing on like a 3. I did a couple of different ones. I did every other day, and then I did 3 days, 4 days off, and then I did a couple of different stacks with them. But currently I do it probably about once every 2 weeks or so, once I start noticing my depression creeping in and kind of things start narrowing in. I do a little bit of a microdose. I have chocolates with Shroomy Boys in there. I feel like anyone can do microdoses though. It doesn't interfere with normal daily activities. I would agree if you put your research into what microdoses are. I feel like the problem that personally what I ran into is I didn't know enough about microdosing, and I was just like, yeah, I've taken shrooms before and I took like an eighth. So this is a tiny amount, I'll just take this. And I wasn't paying attention to it carefully. I didn't have enough research put into it. I just heard like, this can help. So I ended up taking like half a gram my first time and was not comfortable because I didn't actually trip. It was just like really, really odd come up feeling. Done blood testing for MTHFR mutations? No, I haven't. Let me see what these motherfucking mutations are. These gosh darn motherfucking mutations. MTHFR gene. Okay, it's a gene mutation. Interesting. It's too much homocysteine to build up, leading to various health problems. Eyes, joints, cognitive abilities. Usually, that's interesting. So it sounds like a lot of the focus, just by scanning over it, That's not a microdose. I know, it's definitely not a microdose. It is not. But like, that's when you're just getting into it and you don't put enough research in. I think that that's where people get kind of screwed up, is just like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. All of my childhood trauma is flooding back to me. And it's just like really not fun. But if you do, like you said, like you actually microdose, it can be incredibly gentle and healing. But you gotta go really low. Like, I think now I'm at 0.03 for my microdose. But I do PE mushrooms. Next time you have a general trip to the doctor, ask to see what they can do. Super easy. Actually the source of my depression. Wow. B complex supplement. That's awesome. I try to take a B complex. Well, Shaukia tries to get me on a B complex. I'm not super great about taking it regularly, but that's definitely something I should check into. I definitely need to start getting my mental health in check a little bit better, rather than just going, well, I've been diagnosed with depression and ADHD, so that's what I got and I'm gonna deal with it. And instead of finding other options that are like, well, maybe this is a contributing factor. Maybe this is one of the reasons why things are so hard on a daily basis. Special B complex don't make folate, apparently. Huh. Well, that's interesting. It's gotta be a relief to know what's been going on, though. That's gotta be nice, because I know you've been really struggling with some of that, and to be able to have a diagnosis of like, this is what's wrong, this is something that you can do to help it without going on just like really intense antidepressants and things like that. There's literally like easy brain mode that can be achieved. I love that feeling. Sometimes I hit on those days where I'm just like, yes, I managed this perfectly. All of my symptoms are medicated to the right degree. I'm comfortable, because I have IBD too. So it's like, if my stomach's off, my head's fine. And if my head's fine, my stomach's off. And it's just like this never-ending back and forth of like stomach pain, head fog, stomach pain, head fog. And it's just like, once you hit that point where you're like, yes, I am just riding the wave of my day, that just feels so good. Wow, 20-30% has this mutation. That's insane. That is nuts. I'm gonna have to check that out, because I gotta get into the doctor soon anyways. I gotta go get a physical. Well, I am probably gonna wrap up the stream here, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by. I have to... Shaukia forgot... well, she didn't forget her lunch. It's her birthday today. And they were going to order lunch at her job, but the place that they were gonna go, because of our diet, there's only like 1 or 2 places around town that have options for us. So, they were going to order from one of those places because her doctor that she works for is also plant-based diet. So they were going to order from this special place, but they're closed today. So she doesn't have lunch. So I'm going to hop off and I'm going to go bring her some lunch and say hi and give her some hugs and kisses and talk to her while she eats lunch. And then I'll come back and I'll do whatever the heck else I'm gonna do for the rest of the day. Oh, that's what I need to do. I'm gonna work on a YouTube script. I'm gonna get my YouTube SEO video done, actually completed, with a lot of the stuff that I talked about today. More concise, simplified, a little bit easier to understand, less rambly, and I should have that uploaded this week sometime. Super hubby. I try to be. I felt bad because this year she's like, I just want a gift card. There's a bunch of stuff I want on Etsy. Can you just get me a gift card? I'm like, all right, I feel bad just getting you a gift card, but I'm gonna bake her a birthday pie too, because she loves blueberry pie. I have this blueberry pie recipe that I make every year for her birthday, and she loves it. So I'm gonna make her birthday pie and all that stuff. But thank you so much for hanging out, Emperor. It was really good talking to you. Thank you for that suggestion, by the way. I'm gonna keep that in mind and talk to my doctor next time I go, because that would really be huge if that was an influence on what's been going on in my life. But yeah, everyone else, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate that. Yeah, I will see everyone next time. Next Monday live stream this week, new YouTube video. Peace.